The chandelier's glow scattered across the room, the crimson shimmer catching in my wineglass like a silent warning. You invited him. Sarah's voice cut through the air, sharp and cold, slicing the quiet of our dining room. Her eyes, once gentle and soft, now burned with something I couldn't place. Fear, anger, or maybe something far worse. I set my glass down, forcing a smile, even as my pulse hammered in my ears. I thought it would be nice, I said. You know, to finally meet your boss. She opened her mouth, but no words came. The silence was suffocating, like a breath held too long. The idea hadn't seemed dangerous that morning. For weeks, Sarah had felt distant, her laughter rare, her touch absent, her gaze always somewhere else. I told myself it was the stress of her new role. Long hours, late nights. She had once described Daniel, her boss, as intense. I remembered how her tone sounded clipped when she said it, but I didn't dwell on it then. As time passed, though, I noticed the signs. Her phone buzzing at strange hours, the way she'd tilt the screen away, her quick fingers locking it the second I glanced. I told myself it was work. I told myself I was imagining things. So I invited him. Daniel. I thought dinner would bring us closer, help me understand the world she was vanishing into. I spent the whole day preparing roasting lamb, setting out the anniversary plates, trying to remind her that I still cared, that I was still here. But when I told her, the way she flinched made my stomach twist. You shouldn't have done that, Mark, she whispered, gripping the chair so tightly her knuckles went pale. Why not? He's your boss. I figured it might even help you. She only stared at the table, her jaw tight. The air grew heavy, thick with tension. Then the doorbell rang. She flinched again. I'll get it, I said, though my chest felt knotted. Daniel stood at the door, polished, confident, smiling like he belonged. His handshake was firm, his eyes scanning me, as though he already knew everything about me. Dinner began with forced laughter and clinking cutlery. Sarah barely touched her food, her gaze flicking nervously between us. Daniel, though, was at ease. Too much ease. Sarah's been doing incredible work, he said smoothly, swirling his wine. She's indispensable. His eyes lingered on her, and I saw her cheeks flush. Pride, I told myself. That's all it was. But cracks soon showed. Daniel mentioned a late-night meeting last week, one Sarah never told me about. You were brilliant, he said warmly, too warmly. Her fork froze for a second before she forced a smile. Just doing my job. I smiled too, but inside, something tore. She had told me she was at a client dinner that night. As the evening dragged on, Daniel revealed details no boss should know: her favorite coffee, the way she hummed when nervous. I watched her, searching for the woman I knew. But she felt like a ghost present, yet distant, blurred behind glass I couldn't wipe clear. I excused myself to the kitchen, gripping the counter as the truth clawed at me. The late nights, the secretive phone, the fading warmth in her eyes, each memory cut deeper. I wanted to believe I was wrong. I needed to believe it. When I returned, Daniel's hand brushed hers across the table. She didn't pull away. My chest tightened. Sarah, I snapped without meaning to. She pulled her hand back instantly, startled. Daniel's smile never faltered, but his eyes watched me with quiet calculation. The rest of the night blurred in false laughter and meaningless words. Finally, when Daniel left, the silence in the house pressed in like a weight. Sarah busied herself with the dishes, avoiding my gaze. What's going on, Sarah? My voice was low, steady, but breaking inside. Nothing, she said too quickly, her hands shaking in the soapy water. Tell me the truth. She froze. her face pale, her lips parting as if to speak. Then I saw it, the guilt flickering in her eyes, fragile as a dying flame. Mark. Her voice cracked. Tears welled. I didn't mean for it to happen. The words shattered me. I couldn't breathe. My world collapsed in a single instant. The dining room, once glowing with candles and effort, now felt like a stage for a tragedy that had already played its final scene. I didn't know what would follow: rage, forgiveness, or nothing at all. But I knew one thing for certain. The life we had was gone. Whatever remained would never be the same.